Jumping to the deep meaning of everything, some people hear the tiniest comment and suddenly start thinking about life, the universe, and every choice they've ever made. Someone says, "Nice weather," and your brain goes, "Yes, but what does it really mean?" This comes from an overactive prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that handles big-picture thinking. Genius-level thinkers automatically search for meaning, themes, and hidden connections, even in simple conversations. It's not that you're dramatic, your brain is simply built to zoom out and see the larger story behind everything. Sure, it can make small talk feel painful, but this pattern also helps you understand people better and solve problems in creative ways. While others think about right now, your brain is busy thinking 5 years ahead, and honestly, that's a skill most people never develop. Thinking in pictures instead of words. Some people don't think in sentences. They think in giant mental movies that play non-stop inside their heads. You imagine scenes, shapes, colors, possibilities, and outcomes before you can even explain them. This is tied to stronger activity in the brain's visual processing network, which is super common in highly creative and intelligent thinkers. It's why you can picture ideas perfectly but struggle to explain them without waving your hands like you're landing a plane. Your brain runs on imagination mode, building entire images before your mouth catches up. You're not bad at explaining things. Your brain just uses a high-definition projector while everyone else is still loading text messages, taking forever to make decisions. Genius thinkers often take longer to decide what to eat, what to wear, or what to do next, not because they're slow, but because they see every option and every consequence at once. Your brain uses something called metacognition, which means you're thinking about your thinking. You don't just ask, "What should I do?" You ask, "Why would I do it? What could happen? What if I regret it?" It's a mental web of possibilities that makes simple decisions feel like choosing a universe. Sure, it can be annoying, but it's also what makes you wise, careful, and strategic. If people wonder why you overthink tiny choices, it's because your mind is trying to pick the best timeline, not just the quickest answer. Connecting random dots instantly. Ever connect two ideas that seem totally unrelated, like comparing your job problems to a toaster that won't pop up? That's the genius pattern called divergent thinking. Your brain forms connections like lightning, even when the ideas look weird together. This is the same skill used by inventors, scientists, writers, and problem solvers. It's why you randomly blurt out thoughts that make no sense to anyone until you explain the logic, then suddenly it makes perfect sense. Your brain is basically a giant web that glues different ideas together faster than most people can finish a sentence. You don't think outside the box. You think from another dimension. Arguing with yourself before speaking. Smart people often debate themselves in their own heads before they talk. You run through possible reactions, imaginary conversations, and backup arguments just to be ready. This comes from a strong executive function which controls planning and self-control. Your brain likes to test ideas internally first, almost like you're rehearsing for a performance. That's why you sometimes stay quiet, because your mind is busy running simulations faster than your mouth can keep up. People think you're shy, but really you're editing your thoughts like you're your own PR manager. Hyper-focused thinking tunnel. Once you get interested in something, your brain dives so deep that hours pass and you forget the world exists. This is called flow state, and it's extremely common in high IQ thinkers. You lose track of time because your brain is operating at peak performance. Everything feels smooth, fast, and effortless. Whether it's a game, a hobby, a project, a question, or even a weird thought, once it grabs your attention, you become unstoppable. People think you're ignoring them. Really, you're just locked in a mental tunnel your brain refuses to leave until it finishes the mission. If you're still watching, hit subscribe, because your genius brain clearly wants more weird science, and I've got plenty more where this came from. Questioning reality during normal tasks. Some people can't wash dishes, shower, or drive without suddenly thinking about the meaning of life or imagining alternate universes. This is called abstract thinking, and it's one of the strongest signs of intelligence. Your brain naturally wanders into deep thoughts, big questions, and what-if scenarios during the most boring moments. It's not spacing out, it's exploring. Your mind refuses to stay inside the limits of everyday life and instead uses simple moments to create wild new ideas. Regular tasks are just your brain's background music while it goes exploring. Overanalyzing social stuff. After a conversation, your brain will replay every word, tone, and expression like you're reviewing game footage from a championship match. You notice tiny pauses, awkward laughs, and weird eyebrow raises that everyone else forgot even happened. This is tied to higher activity in the social cognition network, which tracks emotions, intentions, and hidden meanings your brain refuses to ignore. Smart thinkers understand people deeply. You read micro-reactions most people never notice because your brain collects social data like it's building a case file. Yes, it can make social life stressful, but it also gives you emotional intelligence, empathy, and strong instincts about people's true intentions. You're not awkward. Your brain is simply processing too much data at once, even when you wish it came with an off switch. Thinking in questions instead of answers. Genius minds question everything, not to annoy people, but because answers always feel like the beginning, not the end. When most people hear an explanation, you hear an invitation to dig deeper. Your brain automatically asks why, how, what if, what else, could there be another reason? This trait is linked to curiosity-driven reasoning, which pushes your mind to peel back layers of information like you're opening a mystery box. While most people accept information at face value, your brain turns every answer into a new adventure. This makes you creative, thoughtful, and impossible to fool. Because you don't just hear things, you examine them. Questioning isn't doubting. It's discovering new angles, new truths, and new ideas most people never think to explore. Seeing problems before they even happen. Some people can walk into a situation and instantly spot everything that could go wrong. You're planning backup plans for the backup plan while everyone else is still deciding where to sit. Your brain is basically running a weather forecast for life, predicting every possible storm before anyone else notices a cloud. This comes from a hyperactive prediction network in the brain, the part that scans for patterns, danger, and future outcomes. Genius thinkers use it to avoid mistakes, prevent drama, and stay 5 steps ahead without even trying. People think you worry too much, but really, your brain is just running the advanced version of common sense. You're not overthinking, you're forecasting. While others get shocked by problems, you saw them downloading from a mile away. Breaking big ideas into tiny pieces. Some people have a special gift for taking huge, complicated ideas and breaking them down into small, easy steps. It's like your brain turns confusion into a clear set of instructions without breaking a sweat. You naturally organize information the way a chef slices ingredients, fast, neat, and perfectly sized. This comes from strong analytical thinking, the part of the brain that loves patterns, logic, and order. You can take messy, overwhelming information and turn it into something simple and understandable, even for people who weren't paying attention. People think you're just organized, but it's much more than that. Your mind quietly untangles chaos. While others panic or freeze, your brain calmly sorts everything like a puzzle being solved in real time, anticipating next steps, prioritizing what matters most, and guiding others forward with effortless clarity and confidence. Subscribe before your genius brain starts overthinking this video too.